There's a story that Deadspin wrote, and some of you will have seen this story. A guy at Deadspin wrote a story about it looks like an elementary school kid. I don't think the kid has been officially identified. 8, 9, 10-year-old kid, around the age of my youngest, I would say, wore a headdress and painted his face half black, half red. Well, when the picture went up on television, Deadspin immediately jumped all over it and treated it as an awful representation of racism and saying, oh my goodness, can you believe that somebody would be wearing blackface and this is unacceptable and there have to be consequences? This was the headline. The NFL needs to speak out against the Kansas City Chiefs fan in blackface native headdress. So the picture they used only showed one side of the kid's face. One side was black, the other side was red. And he was wearing I believe, Travis Kelce Chiefs jersey. And again, it's the Kansas City Chiefs, and he was wearing a traditional Indian Native American headdress. Again, 8, 9, 10-year-old kid. Let me just start here, because I got 3 boys. I've got a 15-year-old, I got a 13-year-old, I've got a 9-year-old. And I say this as somebody who is in the process of raising kids. If you are a grown person and you are in media and you make a child the bad guy and demand that there be consequences for something that a child did, you are the bad guy, not the kid, period. Okay? So this writer is the bad guy here. He is in a position of power, writing on the internet for a site that evidently still has readers. I don't know who those readers are, but evidently they exist. I think they're relatively few in number, way fewer in number than when I was an editor there like 15 years ago, which is tough to do, to have less audience now on the internet than you had 15 years ago, but that's what Deadspin's managed to do. They have no, when I was there, it was a site that was engaged in frivolity and fun. Now it is the constant finger-wagging scolds of the internet. If you are picking on a kid as an adult in an article that you write on the internet and you are using that kid's photo and you are demanding that there be some punishment for that kid from the NFL or from a team, you are the bad guy. But I just want to crystallize where we are right now with left-wingers in sports. Think about this for a minute. Left-wingers in sports believe that a kid who dresses up as a costume supporting his favorite sports team in elementary school is a bad guy, and the league needs to take action against him. Kid in costume, unacceptable. Grown man who decides that he is a woman and competes for a women's championship, not only acceptable, heroic and courageous. I would just ask you, how do you reconcile that if you have a functional brain? Kid dressed up in Native American gear to support his favorite football team, the Kansas City Chiefs. The NFL must take action. The Kansas City Chiefs must take action against him in some form of punitive fashion. Man who is grown dresses up like a woman, pretends that he is a woman, enters into women's athletic competition, wins a women's championship. That is to be praised. That is heroic and courageous. I would submit to you that that is 1,000,000,000% sign that your brain is broken. That is where we are. Also, I think this is significant. To me, the reaction to this individual's article has further encouraged me that the woke era of sports is collapsing. Even people who are on the left, the far left, and disagree with me, the sanest person in the history of sports media, even people who disagree with me are looking at this and saying, yeah, we're getting it wrong. And let me just come back. I've been arguing this for years, and I think we're starting to win a lot more of these battles. Intent matters. Intent matters in all facets of life. If you murder someone intentionally, you are treated to a higher penalty under first-degree murder than if you are driving too fast and someone walks in front of your car and you happen to hit them. Our society understands there is a difference between driving on the road and accidentally hitting someone and intentionally taking their life. And I've been arguing for a long time that our society should recognize the difference between adult actions and kid actions. And I think many people are starting to understand that. You can rob a store at 16 years old and they wipe clean your whole history because we believe that adults should not be judged by the knucklehead decisions they made as kids. Yet, on the internet, if you posted something when you were 14 years old and it's rap lyrics and you later end up being a star athlete and they go back and they find it, it's a huge story, I just think it should be the same policy. Rational thought, kids should be held to kid standards, adult to adult standards. And intent matters everywhere, right? Posting the lyrics to a rap song that you like is different than insulting someone with a racial slur. Dressing up as your favorite team fan is different than wearing blackface, right? This is like intent matters. This kid's intent was not to do anything other than to celebrate the fact that he's a kid and he's rooting for his favorite team. And I'm cautiously encouraged that a lot of people are suddenly having rational thought and they're looking at this and they're saying, yeah, this ain't it. Going after a kid is unacceptable in this form and fashion. You heard me talking about the little kid who was at the the Vegas Raiders going up against Kansas City Chiefs. Kid was a Chiefs fan. He's out in Las Vegas. Half of his face is painted black. The other half is painted red. When you see the picture of him, he has on a red Travis Kelce jersey, and underneath that, he is wearing a black shirt, and so he is matching his black shirt with his red Travis Kelce jersey. Half of his face is one color, the other half is the other. Deadspin tried to say that this was blackface because they only saw one half of the kid's face. Later, it comes out that half of his face was red, and the reality is, it's kind of important, reality is, according to his mom, not only was he wearing team colors on his face, he also had an Indian headdress on. And he was doing the tomahawk chop, and he was celebrating with what I presume is his favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs, and other players are doing the tomahawk chop with him. He's an elementary school-aged kid, okay? Young kid. And now the mom has come out, and she says that actually he's Native American too. So evidently, even for the woke universe, remember Pocahontas, that is Elizabeth Warren, claimed to be Native American, got jobs because of it. You're not allowed to claim to be an ethnic group that you're not a part of, unless you're Elizabeth Warren. But this kid's grandfather sits on a tribal council, according to the mom, and the dad is also Native American. The kid's Native American. So not only did he paint his face two different colors to support his favorite team, but he wore a headdress alongside of a uniform of Travis Kelce, and he now is, the story comes out, actually Native American. I'll wait for the apology to ensue from all the left-wing media out there that tried to cancel a little elementary-aged kid. And I just going to keep hammering this home because I think it's so important. In order to be a member in good standing of the left wing in this country today, you have to believe that little kids are not allowed to dress up as cowboys and Indians. And you have to simultaneously believe that if you are a grown man and you decide to identify as a woman, that you should be able to do so. And not only that, you should be able to win women's championships, and that is courageous and brave of you. So just think about this for a minute. The left in this country now believes that little kids can't dress up as cowboys and Indians because it's offensive, but they believe that grown men can dress up as women and claim that they are women, not just in costume, but in real life, and that is actually courageous and brave, and it is so true, in fact, that they can win women's sports championships. This is the world in which we live.